Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another G.I. Joe action figure review. We've got something a little special today. Today, as you can see, we're looking at the Raider, the vehicle from G.I. Joe. This package, just to give you all a little bit of a history here, as you can see, this package is very beat up. I purchased this from a dude 15 years ago, I guess, something like that, a very long time ago anyways. I don't remember a whole lot about the transaction or anything. Again, that's been 15 years ago. It's set in the attic here for, well, that long now. So, but yeah, I bought it in this condition here. It was detailed up front. This was in kind of poor condition box-wise, but it is supposed to be complete. The only caveat on that is the guy did tell me it was missing one of the tank treads, and I believe I picked it up at the same time from another dealer, and I think I just stuck it in here. So either it's got all of the tank treads or I've got to go hunt one up, but I've got it here somewhere. But as you can see, it still has the figure hot seat over here in the corner and his little bubble thing here. So I've not actually looked inside to see what and all is in here or what the state of it is. Again, I picked it up with the intention of doing an unboxing video at some point and building this beast of a vehicle, and just never got around to it. So I'm getting around to it now. So there we go. Yeah, I don't know if like I don't expect that this thing is going to be 100% like you were taking it out of the box that was sealed. I don't know, and I don't remember back that far if the parts are in bags or if they're just in here, but we're going to find out and see. Again, the box itself, very poor shape. I mean, well, it's actually in halfway decent shape, but it's very badly damaged. It's got water damage on it. It's got tears on it here, there, and about, but surprisingly, it's not really that bad a condition. But I mean, it looks pretty rough though when I see it in person. It does have a sticker up here, $21.95 and $10.98 from Goldstein, 8 and 10, 5 and 10. I'm not familiar with that store chain at all, so I don't know if you got any ideas about what that actual is. Let me know. I'm assuming it's just like a regular 5 and dime store, but we didn't have anything like that in our area. So but yeah, so let's just take a look at the box itself here and just kind of see what it is. It has the beautiful artwork on it from the G.I. Joe team here. It does say it includes Raider driver hot seat. It's over here in the little bubble here, with swivel arm battle grip. Other figures sold separately. See back panel for contents. Ages 5 and up. Some assembly required. I can't talk today. No tools necessary. 6240 is stamped over here in the corner, and we're just gonna, I guess, do this like we normally do. So here is the top of the box. Looks pretty clean. Nothing really going on here, but it's got a UPC symbol over here. Then we'll flip it over to the back here. Again, you can see some of the damage on the box itself. So like this corner's coming apart and it's kind of warped and going all ripply and everything here. But we do have our file card over here in the corner like we get traditionally. We got all the cool stuff on the actual Raider itself. 5 flag points here. Yeah, very cool looking. The bottom, it's the bottom, has this cool, let's see if we can get the light over here a little bit more. Maybe not, but same artwork from the front over here on the side, and then all that stuff. The one side here, again, has the same artwork, copyright 1988, Hasbro, all that stuff on it. It is not glued anymore. Then the other side looks the same. Again, not glued, but it's interesting to see kind of how that glue was applied. Just looking at it like this, pretty interesting. But that glue just came off, and yeah, it gave up. So, yeah, so that's kind of the history on it. Again, I've been waiting. I kind of forgot about it for a while, and when I was doing some other stuff in the attic, I saw this one and thought, hey, I need to get back to that. So we're back to that. We're going to take this bad boy out of the box this time, take a look at the contents, see what and all we actually get. I'm actually hoping that some of the stuff in here is still sealed in bags, but I don't know at this point. Your guess is as good as mine. It should be a fairly straightforward process here. I guess we're going to open it. Well, I'm going to start from this side over here because I know if I was going to be putting in the extra tank tread, I would have done it on this side at the time. So because of the box damage, that's why I would have chosen that side. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and start unboxing this thing. And right away I can see there are some bubble wrap stuff in here. So I don't think all of it's going to be in out of the box condition. But we do have one tank tread here, and again, I don't know if this is the tank tread that I picked up as a replacement or if that's one of the original ones, but it was bagged here. So we'll set that over here to the side, and we'll just kind of go through this piece by piece and see what we get. All of it may actually just be bagged like this. So, but taking this piece out, it does definitely look like it's in really good condition. So that's awesome. Yeah, there's that piece. And we got some tape right here that's coming up. There's another piece, again, in really good condition here. So there's that. Okay, the rest of this in here, actually, you can't see it, but I see bags. So I think it's in bag, and I do see there's a cardboard box inside, so I'm going to grab the cardboard here and try to pull the cardboard out, if it'll come. It may not want to slide out as easily as it would have back in 1988 for sure. There we go. Alrighty, so that is everything out of the box. I just ran over some of that bubble wrap. So some of this stuff is actually still in the bag, so that's very, very awesome. Tank treads here, I see 3, so we'll unwrap that. So I think I must have picked it up and not put the extra tank tread in there, so I'm going to have to go back into the attic to find that piece. But yeah, there are the 3 tank treads that it came with. Okay, we've got the turret and all this stuff here sealed in the bag. That's really awesome. We will unbag all this stuff here in a few minutes, but right now we're just getting it out of the box here. We have this big bag of stuff here. It is again sealed. It looks like it's got the guns and some pegs and the canopy, canopies, all this cool stuff. Some orange missiles that are still on the sprue for the most part. So yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. I'll set that one over here to this side. And we've got fun stuff here. The inserts. I don't think this is the bag that it would have normally came in. This looks kind of like a comic book bag. So I'm assuming this is just a resealed version. But I see the insert here. We've got the instruction sheet. It looks like we've got stickers in there. And yeah, so we'll definitely be taking a look at that up close here in a few moments. And then the big thing is the figure here. Still on his little card back here. But you can see here, hopefully, that this is how they used to package some of the drivers in here. So it's just this little cardboard slot thing here. And we'll just see if we can lift that out. And it is glued on there. Was glued, now it's not glued anymore, but that's the way it was. The bubble is now coming off, and I think that's because I helped it when I pulled on it, but it's still sealed. It's kind of grimy, but the figure inside is still mint. That's pretty awesome. So we're definitely going to be opening this guy anyways. I'm not going to keep him sealed like this, but yeah, that's cool. So there's the plastic, the paper cardboard insert here. Very cool looking. I don't see many of these days, so we about lost him right there. So yeah, so we've got the figure, we've got the paperwork, we got the back piece here, the front piece here, 3 of the 4 treads, 2 big bags of goodies here. Very nice here. So I guess next up, I think we're going to, I'll zoom in and we'll take a look at this packet of instructions and stickers and all that stuff. And then we'll take a look at unbagging these parts and then unbagging these parts. And then we'll unbox the driver, and then we'll start assembling everything and kind of go from there. But yeah, that's the plan. We've got 2 untouched bags of goodies here. I can see the seatbelt in this one too, so that's pretty awesome. So yeah, stick with us and let's keep going here. I'm also going to go see if I can find where I might have put this stupid tank tread, because I'll need that at some point. But yeah, they told me they had 3 of those in there. It was missing 1, so I did pick it up and I'll have to go find it. But yeah, very cool. I'm excited. I haven't done one of these new builds from a 1988 vehicle in a long time, so I'm excited. I'm back. So I went prowling through the attic and I managed to find the piece where I was looking for. I'd stuck this in a Ziploc bag a while back and put it with some other parts. It was actually in a box with the Mamba, the Blockbuster, and a couple other miscellaneous things. But yeah, so here is this one. Now the only question is, again, this was so long ago, did I get the right one as a replacement? I don't have any idea. Let's take it out of here, throw that bag over here somewhere, and take a look and see if I got what I needed. So it looks the same to my eyes. And so this is the one I got as a replacement. This is the one that came with it. I think all of these are the same. I can't really see a difference in any of these. I don't see a different marking. This one says M5536-6. This one says M5536-3. So we got a 6 and a 3. And then this one is M5536-8. The one I got here is 5536-8. So this is basically the same as this one, but they all look the same to me. I don't see any differences other than that part number. So there may be another part here somewhere that's different, but yeah, that's kind of what we got here. So anyways, we got 4 of these tank treads, and I think that's all we need for this particular vehicle. So we're going to assume that everything is cool, and we're going to go from there. So yeah, I guess we're going to jump in and take a closer look at the paperwork next, and then kind of go from there. So yeah, we're zoomed in a little bit now so we can take a look at our paperwork here. Again, I don't think this is the bag that it came in. It looks a little too I don't know. It could be the bag it came in. I don't have any idea, but we're going to open it regardless here and see what we got inside here. So, yeah. Cut that off right there. Yeah, this is not what I remember seeing in these bags, so we'll assume it's probably not the right bag, but it's okay. It's still paperwork. It's still got everything in it here. So, flip it around here. We do have the Crusader shuttle insert, which again has seen better days, but that's kind of what you get. Let's unfold this real quick. You've probably seen one of these before. It's fairly common, but we do have some cool stuff in here, and I love looking at these things. So in this one, we'll start over here on the side here. We do have all of the Tiger Force stuff here. Can y'all see that okay? Yeah, we'll do it like this. So we've got check marks here for all the cool stuff they got coming in here. The Special Mission Series, the Tiger Rat, the Tiger Fly, the Tiger Sting, the Tiger Shark, the Tiger Cat, the Tiger Paw, and the Tiger Fish. I don't currently have all of these. I didn't really get into the Tiger Force stuff all that much. I had a Tiger Force Duke, which was awesome, and he became my replacement Duke because mine had a fight with the dog and lost. But these were all really cool stuff. In the 25th anniversary line, they did re-release a lot of these, so we did get the Tiger Rat, the Tiger Shark, the Tiger Sting, and I think that's all we got in the 25th line, but still cool stuff here. Moving over, we got some Iron Grenadiers things. I did have the Darklon's Evader. I had that one. I had the Razorback. I did not have the Demon, but I have it now. I may need to do a build on that one someday. I think I just have it in a parts bin right now, but yeah. Then we got some more Slaughter's Marauders stuff here. We've got the Equalizer, the Lynx, and the Armadillo. I didn't have any of these vehicles, and I don't think I ever picked many of them up for whatever reason. I had a lot of the Slaughter's Marauders figures, but not many of the vehicles for whatever reason. Then we get to the Python Patrol. We've got the Conquest, the Stun, and the Asp. Out of those, I only got the Stun. I love the Stun. That was an awesome vehicle. One of my favorites. But yeah, so those are the vehicles. Then we have the figures down here. We got Snake Eyes and Scoop. Downtown, DJ, Deep Six. We got Stalker with his canoe. Recoil, Countdown, Backblast, Rock and Roll, Shockwave, Charbroil, Lightfoot, Blizzard, Hardball, Hit and Run, Storm Shadow, Muskrat, Spearhead and Max, Budo, and Repeater. So out of those, I did have Snake Eyes. I think I got Scoop as a trade from somebody on the school bus, but I don't think I had all his accessories. I did have Countdown. I had DJ. I had Deep Six, but I think that was also a trade. I had Stalker in his canoe. I got Recoil later from a dude. I don't think I had Countdown. I think I got him later. I didn't have Backblast. I had Rock and Roll. I loved Rock and Roll. Didn't have Shockwave. I had Charbroil. Did not have Lightfoot. I did have Blizzard. I did not have Hardball. I did have Hit and Run. I did have Storm Shadow there. I had Muskrat, Spearhead and Max, Budo. I did not have Repeater. Moving on over here, we got the Tiger Force Joes, Duke, Lifeline, Flint, Dusty, Roadblock, Bazooka, and Tripwire. I think I only had the Tiger Force Duke out of that set. I didn't get any of the rest of those. Slaughter's Marauders, we got Mutt, Spirit, Lowlight, Barbecue, Footloose, and Sergeant Slaughter. Out of that set, I did not have Spirit or Lowlight, but I had all the rest of those, so that was cool. Our Cobra Forces, we've got Naugahyde, the Night Viper, the Frag Viper, the Alley Viper, the Heat Viper, the Hydro Viper, Astro Viper, Toxo Viper, and Road Pig. Out of that set, I did have Road Pig, the Toxo Viper, I had the Hydro Viper, and I loved that figure. I had the Heat Viper, the Alley Viper, the Frag Viper. I did not have the Night Viper, and I did have Naugahyde, one of the cool Dreadnoks. Then we had Iron Grenadiers, Targat, Voltar, the Iron Grenadiers, and Annihilator. I know I had Voltar and the Iron Grenadiers. I don't think I had the Annihilator, or I think I got the Target a little bit later, and I probably got Annihilator as a trade loose without accessories. The Python Patrol, which I also loved there. The Python Trooper, Python Viper, Python Officer, the Python Televiper, the Python Crimson Guard, and the Python Copperhead. I actually did not have a whole lot of the Python Patrol figures, now that I'm thinking about it. Too bad. Moving on, we'll go on to the back side of the sheet here, see what we got here. Cobra Forces, we've got the Cobra Hiss 2, we've got the Cobra Condor Z25, we've got the Cobra Bug, the Cobra Fang 2, the Cobra Battlefield Robot Devastator, and the Cobra Battlefield Robot Hovercraft. I don't think I had any of these, actually. I'm pretty sure I did not have any of these vehicles. I picked some of them up later, but not to begin with. So, then we got some Joe stuff here. We've got the Thunderclap, the Rolling Thunder, the Arctic Blast, the Joe Battlefield Robot Radar Rat, and Battlefield Robot Tri-Blaster. I didn't have any of those. I did have the Crusader. I still do, but yeah, that one was an awesome one. I got that one as a birthday gift, I think, or a Christmas gift. But anyways, that was an awesome ship there. We got the Phantom X19, which I actually did a restoration video on that one on the channel. Go check that out in the back catalog here. The Mud Fighter, the Raider, which is what we're looking at today. We've got the Battle Force 2000 Pulverizer, and we've got the Warthog AIFV. Yeah, I did not have any of those. So, anyways, that's a cool insert. I really like going back and looking at those and matching them up to things I had and didn't have and all that good stuff. But yeah, so there is the Crusader insert. We'll throw that to the side here. We have our instructions here for the Raider. We'll be following along with these, and I'll try to get a scan of these so y'all can follow along with it. But yeah, very cool, very cool, very cool. On the back side of that, we do have the blueprints. That's pretty awesome. I'll get a scan of that for y'all to throw up here on screen as well. More instruction sheets and a sticker placement guide. I will get a scan of that as well so y'all can see all this good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's nice and brittle, but a little bit of stain here and there, but not too bad. Not as bad as it could have been. Next, we do have stickers, and it is in a little plastic sheet, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, we'll get a scan of this one and throw it up on the screen so y'all can see this a little bit closer up. But very cool looking. I don't know if I'm going to use these or if I'm going to pull these and try to get some repo stickers, but it's nice to have them anyways. We'll get a scan of those. We have another insert here for G.I. Joe, the team personalized ID card thing, and the Steel Brigade action figure insert. So very nice. So yeah, there's all the paperwork. We'll move on and grab, I guess probably the figure next. Yeah, we'll do the figure next. Let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. So this is Hot Seat. Comes sealed on the red carded backer thing here. As you can see, it's got some junk going on here around the bottom here. If we flip this thing over though, we can see on the back here, it's got the part number on it, 401374.00, made in China. The remnants of the glue when we pulled it off of the the cardboard insert. So that's how they used to have these in here. They would glue this piece into the other cardboard piece. So, and you could see earlier, it is already lifting up. The glue is just kind of let go. So we'll just go ahead and slide him out and take a look here, and we'll set this off to the side. I don't know what to do with these things, if I should keep this somewhere or not. I mean, it's in terrible shape, so I'm inclined not to worry about it, but it's kind of nice here. So so yeah, we don't get a whole lot with this figure. Most vehicle drivers don't really come with a lot of accessories. We do get one cool looking helmet here. We'll try to get up kind of close to it here if we can see. It's got a cool kind of like night scope kind of thing. Cool earmuffs. It's got the cool walkie-talkie built into it. Little pipe coming off the side of it there. Some little peg hole things there on the side going around the back of it. And some cool little brass button things on the top of it. But other than that, kind of a basic kind of sculpt here, but kind of cool. Take a look at the figure itself. We'll set the helmet to the side here. So yeah, this thing's not been touched since 1988. So, however, if you look real close, you'll notice that we've got an elbow crack right there. Like I say, these things, it happens with the plastic over time. So it is what it is, but it's just kind of funny how you pull something out of a package and it's just going to do that. So, but anyways, just looking at the sculpt itself, it's got a kind of cool face to it here. And do I need to lower the light down a little bit? Maybe just a bit. It's interesting that he's actually got gray hair. I've not seen many Joes like that, so that's interesting. I'll have to go back and look at his file card, but he's got the cool eyebrows and painted eyes and cool stuff like that. Looking at the rest of his details here, he's got a regular like flak jacket thing here with the little puffy sleeve things, whatever those things are. Some nice detailing here in the bottom of the chest here. Nice contrasting colors here with the green to the kind of dark gray khaki color here for his shirt sleeves that are rolled up. Black gloves. An interesting belt here on the side. We can see a little bit more detail here, if I can get it to focus. An interesting little buckle thing there. And he's got his canteen on the other side there. And going down, those bright orange pants with the puffy things going on right there. And down to his boots, which are kind of interesting here. He's got like these lead plates or whatever in here, sculpted in. And then like spurs on his boots. And you can see where, I guess instead of making them be a two-piece, like a heel right there, it's sculpted flat, but it's got it detailed in right there, so you can kind of see that heel. So they look kind of like cowboy boots, or harness boots, or whatever you want to call them there. The back of them, we do have pockets, and I can't really read that, but it does say 1989, Hasbro, made in China, H-23. I think that's what I'm getting out of that. So, cool. As far as articulation goes, this should be the same sculpt as, same articulation we're used to with all the 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joes. The head moves about that far, and then back about that far, and he does have up and down so he can bob his head up and down there. The arms do spin 360 degrees. He's got the swivel, and it goes up about that far. Swivel at the top of the bottom of the bicep, and a regular elbow joint. Sorry, the O-ring that we love. This one feels a little loose, but it's still hanging on there, so yeah, not too bad. Legs go up about that far, and they bend at the knees, and that's pretty much it for articulation. These are very nice. They're not loose, but they're not extremely tight. This one feels a little bit tighter than this one, but just barely. Then elbow joints are a little tight there. Arms are in good condition. So yeah, really, really awesome looking figure here. Not the greatest figure in the world by any means here. Again, most of the time they don't put a lot of detail into the drivers themselves. I do like the gray hair. It definitely makes him stand out a little bit more compared with all the other Joes that we had out. We'll grab his helmet here and stick that on him here and see how well that works. Very, very interesting look for this guy. But yeah, snaps on pretty good, stays on, and snaps off hopefully pretty easily. These are the ones I hate doing because it just feels like you're going to break it. Very tight fit on that, so there's definitely going to be some paint wear after a few times doing that. But yeah, that's very, very cool. So that's Hot Seat. Looking at the face, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Red Star. I don't know, I don't have that one anywhere around to compare it to, but I get the Red Star vibe off of it, but who knows? I mean, it could be a unique sculpt. I don't really know. But if any of y'all out there know more about the actual head sculpts and things like that, drop a comment down below and let us know. Is this a reused head sculpt, or is this a unique head sculpt? Anyways, that is our figure. That is Hot Seat. Before we jump off of the actual figure itself, I did want to just kind of go back and reshare these things. So these are the holders that I keep, the cases, the protective cases. These are made by ProTech, and they are just a regular, like, Star Wars size. I think these are the large versions. They make them for other lines, but they're made for 3 3/4 inch figures here. But I think the small one is like the just standard figure size. These, I think, are what they call the large version, and they have a little bit more room for more accessories and things like that. So that's just why I kind of standardized on these. They do really well. It is a single one-piece kind of scheme here. It's got a perforated line here that you probably can't see right down the center at the very bottom of this thing. And what you do is you just fold these up like so. You just kind of scrunch them in along that perforated line, and that kind of just squeezes it together, and then they just clasp together. They've got, and again, I don't know if you can see this, but there's these little indentations, little tab things, and then the recessed version of that on this piece. So they lock together. Usually pretty easily. This one I think I may have There we go. Bent a little bit getting it out, but they just pop in and out like that right there. And they do a really good job of holding the figures in place and keeping them from rubbing up against other figures and things like that. So yeah, I really do like these a lot. This is the brand that I use all the time. Again, ProTech. There's probably 100 of them manufacturing them now, but these are the ones I use anyway. So we're just going to go ahead and take this guy and stick him in here. I need to probably change his band out sometime, but I'll throw his helmet in there and then close it back up here. Yeah, so these things fit in here very well, very nicely. You got room for the accessories and everything else like that. So I recommend these ProTech cases if you're in the market for it. But yeah, if you have other suggestions of what you use, the only downside to these is the cards themselves, the file cards don't fit in these, so I have to keep those separate. But I've never been that big on keeping up with the file cards, so it doesn't bother me that much. But this way I can keep them and they'll stack on top of each other, and you do all sorts of cool stuff with that. But I just figured I'd throw that in here real quick and just to remind you that yeah, I use these ProTech blister cases. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to one of our sealed baggies. This is the smaller of the two here, so I figure we would just kind of look at this and see what's going on with it, and then we'll open it up and take the stuff out here. This bag is a little different than I've seen in the past because it's got this little tag thing up at the top here. But we'll look at that in a second here. On the bag itself, it does read Avis, and I can't pronounce these any of this, so I'm not going to bother, but down here it does say, warning, to avoid danger of suffocation, keep this bag away from babies and children. Do not use in cribs, beds, carriages, or playpens. Other than that, I don't see any identifying marks on here as far as what the bag is, what it contains, or anything. This little sticker that we see here says, can we see that? That shows up pretty good. If I can get the light off of it. There. Union Industries Incorporated. I don't remember seeing anything like that on, but I've not opened one of these bags in a long time, so who knows. The bag itself is torn right here at the top, but it is still sealed down here. But that happens fairly often where the bag will separate from itself, but still sealed. Maybe just a little bit, but anyway, so that's the bag in case anybody is out there needing reference or anything like that. So it looks like inside it we do have 3 pieces, and we'll go through that and see here. So let's just go ahead and slice the bag open. The first piece we got here is this thing. It's the driver's seat. That's cool. Very nice. Got a nice texture going on down there that may not be showing up on camera, but very cool looking texture. So we'll set that over here. Next up, we've got this piece here, which I don't know what it is, if it's part of the engine or whatnot, but we'll find out in a little while here. But yeah, nice glossy plastic here, nice details. Very cool looking. On the back side, we do have a part number here. Can y'all see that right there? M-5529-1. Very cool. I didn't look for a part number on this one, but I'm sure there might be. Maybe not. I don't see one. Kind of strange. They usually have part numbers on about everything. But yeah, no, I'm not seeing anything on that one. Alright, so there's the second piece. And then the last piece looks like part of the cannon gun transmission. I don't know what that is, but very cool looking. Nice detail. And flipping it over, it does have a part number on it. Can y'all see that right there? It says M-5529-6. Yeah, so there are our 3 pieces out of this bag right here. I guess I could look over here and see what they call these things real quick. So this is the upper cannon half. And then this they're calling the lower cannon half. And then this, let's find it on here. It is called, not on this page. Chain gun. I'm not seeing it called out. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, that is the vent rack assembly. Or the vent rack, basically is what this is. So, yeah. So we got a vent rack. We've got the lower cannon half and the upper cannon half. So that's all in that one small bag there. So, very cool. We're moving on to our bigger bag of accessories here. So, very, very cool. Nice big bag of stuff to look at here. This one has the same warnings on the top of it. It does say whatever that is in French. Warning: to avoid dangerous suffocation, keep this bag away from babies and children. Do not use in cribs, beds, carriages, or playpens. It also has that same Union Industries Incorporated up here at the top. So keep that in mind. Other than that, I don't see anything else on here delineating anything. There is another bag inside of this bag, which looks like it has the canopy on it, so we'll deal with that when we get to it. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and pull these pieces out. They are on their trees here, so we'll just pull them out and see what we have here. So let's go ahead and cut this thing off. Open sesame. And I am going to try to reference here our sheet here so I can get the names of this stuff here as much as possible. We do have this part tree, sprue tree, however you want to call it. Let me brighten that up a little bit maybe. I don't know if that'll help or not, but yeah. We do have part number on it. This is, there we go, M-5532-2. And these are probably the wheels, I'm guessing. Let's see if that says anything specifically about the wheels. Yeah, it's just wheels. That's all that says. So, cool. Put that over here. Let's grab this piece. Interesting. That one, I think, I've got a part number right here in the center. M-5531-7. I don't know if that'll show up good enough on camera for y'all to read that or not, but that's what it says. So, and this piece I saw earlier with what the missile rack is what this is. So that's the missile rack. Let's go back in here and grab one of these little things right here. So here's a little sprue. These probably go back to the wheels as well. This is marked as 207435. Nice, and that looks like it is the wheel retainer axle. Yeah. Okay. Next, we do have the canopies, and they are in sealed bags, so we'll come back to those in a second. But there's the big canopy and the little canopy are both inside there, so that's cool. But we got to come back to open that bag. Next up, this one is coming apart. But everything is actually on here except for one thing, which I can see right here would have gone here. Yeah, so that piece popped off the sprue. This one is almost ready to pop off, and then we've got the spotlights and two of these things, which are these are support legs, and then these things are called, what are these things called? I can't memorize this stuff ahead of time, so I have to look it up. These are, I have no idea. Oh, hose base. So they go on the side guns, but that's the hose base for the side guns. So there is a part number on this one as well, if I can get it to shift over here. 401710. And I don't know if I'll, there we go. You might be able to see that if I can hold it still. Yeah. Alright, so there's that piece. Next up, let's go ahead and get the these missile things. So this one's kind of bent around a little bit, and a couple of the missiles are trying to pop off, but yeah, it also has a part number 207680. This missile is coming off of that one, and this one is bent around, and this is coming off. So these are the orange missiles, and I think you got to put those together as well. Looks like they're half and half. So there's an upper missile half and a lower missile half, and then a cap and a tip. So we'll have to look at those at some point, but very cool looking orange missiles. Alright, let's see what else we got in the bag. This is one of the side guns. I think there's two of these. No, these are, yeah, two of these. They are mirror images of one another, so there'll be a left one and a right one. And it actually is marked on here, R, there we go, R and L. So a right and a left for these. Very cool looking though. So there's our two side guns. Then we have this crazy contraption here, which is going to be the Chin gun. Again, nice detail work on this one. We'll get a closer look when we get to the assembly process. Then we've got this piece here, which is probably an axle or something. Looking. This is the track support. Cool. Nice detail in that as well. The light will shine on it. Track support. Next up we have these things, which looks like we had one pop off. I guess. Would that go in there? Yeah, that's probably... Maybe not. We'll assume that's what that is. This one is 401711. There we go. And it looks like this is, let's see, it's these are the missile tips. And the missile caps. And then this piece I don't see this piece on here. Do. I'm sure it is here somewhere, but yeah, I'm not seeing this one called out specifically, but I'm looking. Oh, here it is. It's the muzzle for the cannon. Yeah, that's our muzzle. Okay, and then the last things we have are the seat belts. I can see them in here. We've got two of these generic seat belts. So yeah, very, very cool. So that's all of in that bag. Toss that to the side now. And I think we can just go ahead and open these bags. So this bag has the same thing on it. It's the warning, do not suffocate, blah, 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 blah. Nothing else on here. Let's do this real quick. Nothing else in here, but we do have the dome canopy. That nice kind of smoked clear thing. And there's a little bit of rubbing going on right there, but I think I can probably get that off with just some regular cleaning stuff. And then here's the other windshield. There's some schmutz or something right here that might wipe off. And a couple of, traditional scrapes here, there, and about from shipping and things like that. But I think most of that will buff out. You can see a little bit right there. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I will note that there is a textured part here. So the top near the hinges, you can see there's like a little texture bit going on. And then a clear strip down the middle, and then another texture side. And that texture wraps around like that. On the back side, it's all clear and smooth, but an interesting little effect right there with some extra texture going on. So, alrighty, well that is all of our sprue pieces. I'm not going to bore y'all with me snipping these off, but I'm going to go ahead next and just take all of these parts off of the sprues so we can go and get into the actual assembly itself. So let me know in a comment if the sprue snipping is a thing that y'all care about or not. Again, I'm mostly trying to document this stuff for posterity's sake, but I don't know that that's kind of a tedious thing that I don't think anybody wants to sit here and watch me snip sprues for a half hour or an hour or whatever it is that this takes. So yeah, leave a comment, let me know if you want to see that in future episodes or if you want me to gloss over that. So yeah, we'll go on to start assembling this thing next. I think we got everything that I can tell. Yeah, I'll take a look at the instructions here, and then we'll just jump into it and kind of go from there. So yeah, we're getting close here. In this part, we're just going to snip through all these part sprues, probably make a montage out of it or something like that. So, yeah, that's the plan. Okay, it's time for us to build this thing. So we're going to start with the Scoutcraft front chassis. Yeah, I'm just going to read through this stuff and kind of go from there. So, wheel retainer axle assembly. Step 1, fit wheel retainer axle into holes and wheels, then snap retainer axle into track treads as shown. Okay, so we're going to need 4 of these. We're going to need our wheel things. We're going to need our axle retainers. I think that's everything we need. So let's go ahead and grab one of these, flip it over. If you flip them upside down, this is the part we're looking for. So each of these gets one of these and one of these. And you just kind of slip that through the hole there, and then that plugs in to those holes right there. And press until it snaps. And there we go, that's the first one. We're going to repeat that for all these and go from there. So grab your wheel thingy, your retention clip here, press those in, line it up, press until it snaps. Cool. Yeah, we got 3 more of those to do, so I'm just going to breeze through those and yeah, we'll go through it. So. Cool. Cannon assembly, step 2. Snap upper cannon half onto lower cannon half. Snap cannon muzzle over cannon front end. Okay, so we need this gray piece here, this gray piece here, so the lower cannon half, the upper cannon half, and then our muzzle, which should be this one right here. So we line these up. There's 2 little notches here. Let me set the instructions to the side here. 2 little notches right here. They line up these tabs here. Line those up. And then snap it in place. Nice snap. looks like it's solid and secure. Then we take the big end and just fit it over here and press in until it snaps. Very cool. Step 3, track support installation. Snap track support into hole and rear end of track tread as shown. Alright, so we need to find track treads that have these. I think we're just doing one. Yeah, so I'm just going to pick this one. Then we need the track support, which is this piece. Like this. Alright, so we take the hole in the back here, we line this up, and it's square. This piece is a square and the hole is a square. So just like that, and just snap it in place, I reckon. And you'll notice there is, on this piece here, a notch, basically. So on the treads here, there's a notch built in here. So we line that tread up with that notch there, and then snap it in place. And we got to push pretty hard to get that snap in place. There we go. Snap. Nice and secure. Step 4, cannon implementation. Snap cannon into center hole and same track tread. Okay, so we need the cannon that we just assembled from here, along with this tank tread that we just put together. And then this goes in the front. Let's see here. The middle actually is what we're looking for. So this piece here, this lines up and then just snaps in place, I reckon. Just double checking here. Yeah, it just fits in there, so we're just gonna slide it in here until it snaps, I reckon. There we go. And then that should allow it to, well, it don't turn, so that's where it goes. Okay, yeah, that's it. Step 5 is the track tread assembly. Snap other track tread over cannon post and track support post. Okay, cool. So we take one of these other cannon things here. So luckily, if you're looking at these things, that notch that we talked about is on both sides, so you can't really go wrong. You just line the two of these things up and snap them into place here. So, and on this piece here, there's a flat piece, which is what locks it in place on this thing here. So, alright, so we're going to line that up as best we can, and line that one up as best we can, and then just snap it, and then check that, and press on it this way, I think. It's a little bit squishier, so yeah, like that right there. Cool. That's looking pretty awesome. I don't know if that goes up or down. We'll assume it just stays where it is. Step 6, Scoutcraft dome installation. Snap Scoutcraft dome into notch on cannon as shown. Alright, so we need the piece that we just made, and then this dome over here, and then it just fits into place over top of this right here, and just snaps in place. So you line up, if you can see in here, it's got those little peg holder things there. So you just line those up and just kind of snap it in there, and that's all she wrote. And it lifts up and lets down. Not a whole lot of protection for a Joe, but some protection is better than nothing, right? So, step 7, rear end chassis. This is the chassis track tread assembly. Snap post on chassis sides into center holes in remaining 2 track treads. Okay, so we need 2 of these, and we need the chassis. And I don't see that. Okay, Houston, we have a problem. This piece here, it was not in the box. So, I didn't realize that until just now. Well, dang. We can't go any further at this point because we're missing that piece. And I know it's not in the box because we took everything out of the box and there's nothing else left here. So, yeah. I guess I'm going to have to go digging and try to find a chassis for the Raider. Well, shit. Alright, well, we're going to back up here and we are going to go try to find a chassis, and then we'll come back to this at some point in the future. And for y'all, it'll be just a split second or two and we'll be back. But for me, it'll be probably a little bit longer than I want. So we'll find out here. I will check back in with y'all in a little while, and yeah, we'll see how things go. But yeah, right now, the chassis was not included in my box, so that's a thing I should have checked out a long time ago, but you know, 15 years ago. So it is what it is. We'll figure something out, and yeah. So snap, and we'll come back. What's up, time travelers? I got 2 boxes here. I've been let's call it time traveling for a little while. As I was looking through this to try to figure out what I needed, ended up needing actually 2 parts. I need the rear end chassis, and it looks like I also needed the, what do they call it here? The interior chassis, body top assembly. Those 2 pieces were missing. Excuse me. So, we got on eBay and we found what we think is the right pieces, and they showed up here, so we're just going to take a moment here and unbox these and check them out and make sure they're going to work for us. Then hopefully we can jump ahead and start getting back into the actual assembly process for this thing. So yeah, 2 boxes here, so let's just pick one here and see what we got. I haven't opened them yet, so I don't know if they are what we need, everything we need, no idea. So let's see. These things may have stickers. I ordered them a while back, and it's taken me a while to get back to this, so I don't really remember what we ended up ordering. So here's the first piece. We'll throw the box away. Nice packaging anyways. There's a pecking peanut right there. We'll get rid of that. Okay, so this is the top, what did they call it? The top interior chassis, basically. And yeah, so here's the seats for the drivers and everything like that. It's not in bad condition here. It's definitely not brand new mint, but it is what it is. So I'm going to have to clean it up a little bit here. And it does have, it looks like just the 1 sticker on it. So I'll probably go ahead and remove that sticker. But everything else looks fine. This little piece back here looks okay. These tabs are all in place. So I think this one is good to go anyways. So there's that piece. Let's go ahead and grab this box. This should be our rear chassis. Yeah. it always pays to double check things when you get them to begin with. So, some more packing material here, and there we go. That is the rear chassis. Throw that box to the side as well. So yeah, this one is in similar condition. It looks like we do have a couple of stickers already applied here. There's one here, one over here. So not too terrible. It definitely has a lot more grime on it. Oh, there's another sticker right there, the G.I. Joe one. But that should clean up fine. That's not a big issue. The big thing to look for is these tabs up here. Let's actually zoom in a little bit here. Let's get down here and get up close and personal with it here. So these two tabs up here are the ones you got to be careful of. You can never really tell when you're looking at photos online of what you're going to get. There are some stress marks on these. I don't know if that is picking up or not, but if you look real closely in there, you can kind of see, the plastic is stressed a little bit, so it's a slight discoloration around that edge, and same thing for down here on this edge. Just a slight discoloration showing that it's got a little bit of stress on it, but they're not broken anyways, and that's the big major thing. Same thing with these back pieces. Nothing's broken. These look fine. This one looks fine. And then on the bottom side, really nothing to worry too much about. Just needs to be cleaned up. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that stress mark a little bit better here. It's not terrible, but it is what it is. So we're going to make do with this and kind of go from there. But yeah, so we got the back chassis and the cockpit. Yeah, so I'm going to probably not show cleaning that up. Typically what I'll do is I'll just get some, Simple Grain is usually what I use. Spray it down real good, let it soak overnight or whatever, then get in there with a toothbrush and just an old toothbrush, not a new one. I mean, you can use a new one if you want, but not one you're actually using to brush your teeth with. But yeah, so I'll get in there and clean that up, and that shouldn't be a big issue. May have to take some Goo Gone or some alcohol or something to get the stickers off there. Not nothing I'm worried about anyways, but yeah, so there are the two pieces that we were missing, and as far as I can tell right now, those are the only two pieces that we were missing besides the one, what was that, this thing, tread, that we were originally told that was missing. So we got that fixed up. These two should finish everything we need, and so we'll get those cleaned up, and then we'll jump back in here and start back up with the assembly process. So yeah, slight detour, a little bit of time goes by, but yeah, it is what it is. These are the things you may run into at some point when you're dealing with this, so you can never be too sure. So yeah, check your packages before you jump into something like this. Heck, we got this thing washed up. It turned out pretty good here. I managed to get all the stickers off of it. Doesn't look too bad. Still got a little bit of scuffing on the side right here, but I'm not going to worry about that. You're never going to see that. A little bit of sprue action here, a little bit of stuff here, but for the most part, they cleaned up really nicely. All that grime and everything is off of it at least, so that's a good place to start. And this one also got the stickers off of it. It looks to be in a little bit better shape. No problems whatsoever. So, yeah. I think we're ready to dive into this thing and actually get this thing built for once. So, yeah, let's go ahead and jump back in here. I think we just finished up the Scoutcraft thing, so we're ready to go to the next step. So, yeah, let's get to it. Editor's note. Somehow I managed to not actually record any of the audio for the next couple of steps here. Yeah, I goofed up. Luckily, I'm still here, and I figured now would be a good time just to re-record the audio. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. I'm going to essentially watch the video as it's playing and try to remember any of the oddities that come about. And we'll just kind of walk you through what I was doing and what I was thinking, what I think I was saying at the time. I don't know how well that's going to work, but that's the best we can do, so that's what we're going to try. So if you'll bear with us for a couple of steps here, we'll get it all sorted out, then we'll be back to the original audio recordings as they happened. But yeah, for about 3 to 4 steps here, it's going to be re-recorded audio. Step 7, rear end chassis track tread assembly. Snap posts on chassis sides into center holes in remaining 2 track treads. Okay, so we have our 2 track treads and then the chassis itself. And we're just going to turn these so that the wheels are on the bottom. And then we're going to line up the posts with the post holes. And these are kind of the square ones. So it should just fit in here just one way, but it does give you a little bit of play inside of here, so you can still move it a little bit, but just line it up and just kind of press on it until it snaps in place, and it should be good to go. Then it will adjust a little bit here. So same thing for the other side. Line them up, press in on it till you hear it snap, and you should be good to go. Step 8, support legs installation. Snap support legs over posts on front end portion of chassis. Alright, so we got the chassis here that we just built. Then we've got these 2 support legs here. I think they are the same thing. There's not any difference on whether it's left or right. As best I can tell, they're all the same. So it says basically just to kind of stick them in place. I actually had a little bit of a hard time trying to figure this one out. It's a lot simpler than I'm trying to make it out to be in the video here. But what I'm doing is looking to try to figure out how this is supposed to snap in place. And then eventually I will realize that you just line up the pegs there with the peg holes and snap it in place, but it took me a minute or so to try to get this figured out. So I was trying to actually snap it in place as like an L piece, and it's not working, as you can obviously tell. That's not the way it's supposed to go. But yeah, the illustrations are a little bit vague as to how to do that. But if you pay a little bit closer attention to it, you'll notice that there is actually just the tab there, the post tab, and then the post hole in the actual support leg. Oh, and I just noticed there is the actual post itself. And then you've got the post hole there. You just line it up and snap it in place. And then that locks back and forward. And those little things line up there so you can see where they are. But yeah, that's simple there. I'm going to grab the other one here, line it up so you kind of stick it underneath to feed it up, and then line up your post with your post hole, and then just kind of press it into place. And you're good to go. It sits pretty flat too once you actually get it installed the right way. Step 9, front body, interior body top assembly. Turn body top upside down, snap front end of interior into body first, then snap rear end into body top as shown. Snap chin gun into hole in body top front end. So for this one, you are going to need the interior, and then the body top, and then your actual chin gun itself. So we're going to do it like it says here. You're going to turn the interior upside down, and then flip over the body top. And then we're going to take the interior and kind of just line up the tabs on it on the sides, and then there's two tabs that go into the front as well. We're going to line those up. Line up the front end first, and they just kind of sit in there. It doesn't look like it's going to sit the right way, but pretty much just line it up and just kind of put it in place there. The rear tabs, for whatever reason, did not line up correctly at all, and they look really weird. So this is me attempting to realign them to make sure I didn't miss something, but in reality there wasn't anything there to miss. It was just doesn't always line up 100%. So yeah. So we stick the front end in first and kind of leverage it up a little bit to get it to go in flat right there. And then you just kind of push it into place, and then it's kind of just snaps in. And you can kind of see from the back end that it's just supposed to line up and pop in place there. There are a couple of little those indentations there, flares if you want to call them. They will line up into little grooves right there in the front, and then just press in it and it should lock into place. Same thing with the front, just kind of press in on it and you should hear a little bit of a snap there, and then those little tabs will pop up on the front end. So just check everything, make sure it is actually tabbed in place, and you're good to go. And we're going to grab the chin gun, just line up the post to the post hole, and just kind of snap it in place. And that should let it rotate. And that's all there is to it. Step 10, windshield implementation. Turn body top right side up, snap windshield onto cockpit opening as shown. So we're going to take the cockpit body that we just assembled and the windshield itself, and just basically line up these little post things here with the openings at the top. You're going to have to squeeze on it a little bit to get it to pop into place right there, but a little bit of pressure should get it to line up, and then it should wiggle a little bit there to line up. Goes all the way up, all the way down, and then at the very front there is a small little tab and a little small tab indentation. You can just kind of press that into place. This one is a little bit off. It doesn't completely seal all the way, or doesn't feel like it anyways, but it is snapped in place and everything looks good. It just, for whatever reason, doesn't feel right. It's got a little bit of a gap on the sides there, but other than that, it's good to go. Step 11, hose installation. Slide hose into slots over tabs on right gun bottom marked R. Then fit upper hose end into hole in gun side. Doesn't state it here, but you then repeat it for the left side as well. So yeah, we've got the actual guns here. There's two of them, and then the hose bases, two of those as well. So this particular process didn't work as well for me as I thought. But if you look in here, they are labeled left and right. You will notice I'll struggle with this a little bit because it's a bit awkward. There is a left and a right side for the hose tanks, but they are not labeled, so you just kind of have to look at them and try to figure out which ones go where. And we'll kind of look at this as we go through it here. So we're going to flip them upside down and try to match this up here. So the actual hose itself curves, as you notice right there, and there's a little tab on each side there. That tab is what we're going to lock this in place to. So you're going to find that piece and match it up on that side with with that. So they'll go this way, and then the hose will kind of float around on top and plug into the little post right there. So yeah, we're just kind of looking at this to see what this looks like. You'll notice on the there's an angle in right there. The hose itself will fit into that area. The tank itself, you just line that up and just press it into place. There's a little groove in there. It's a bit awkward to try to get it to go in place because it doesn't snap cleanly. It's takes a little bit of pressure there, and that silly hose is not really bendable, so you gotta have to kind of work at it at the same time. So right now I'm trying to figure out the best way to actually get this to press into place. It lines up pretty easily, but that little tab piece is just sticks out quite a bit, and it's not got a lot of flex in it. But eventually it will just kind of pop into place right there. Not on that try. Let's go again. Alright, line it up as best we can. Now let's turn it around and look at it a little bit. Yeah, the approach is right. We're just not putting enough pressure on it just yet. So I'm going to try it again. Line it up. And then just kind of press in on it really hard. There it goes. Snapped in place that time. Then we can take the actual hose itself and bend that around and just pop that post into that post hole. And it should also just snap into place. Takes a little bit of pressure, but not that big a deal. I am also a little worried about just those hoses themselves. Again, there's not a lot of give in them, but enough so where it actually works. So, now we're going to move on to the left side this time. And again, we're going to basically make sure that that lines up there. Go ahead and feed the hose up over top, and then just line that up. Those two little brackets fit into those grooves right there. And just kind of line it up and just give it a real hard press. May have to wiggle it a little bit to get it to go in. There it goes, snapped in. Then put our post into our post hole. Sometimes they can be a bit finicky. There we go, got it lined up, pressed into place, and it's good to go. Step 12, gun installation. Snap right body side gun marked R over post on right body side. Repeat for left body side gun. Okay, so we're going to take our two side guns here that we just fixed, and then we're going to grab the main body there that we fixed in the earlier step. And then we're just going to decide which one is left and which one is right. But basically, you're going to line it up so that those hose bases go to the bottom. That's the best I can tell from the photos. So yeah, just going to kind of line those up and find the post there, and then find the post hole. And just kind of line it up and drop it, pick it back up, line it back up, and then just kind of press it into place here. And it should snap on if you don't drop it. I'm just going to turn it sideways here so you can see it a little bit better there. Just line up the post in the post hole, press in on it. You may have to wiggle it up and down a little bit to get it to go into place right there. I always worry about those posts breaking. But yeah, same thing on the other side. Just make sure that the post is lined up with the post hole. And just kind of wiggle it a little bit as you're pressing in on it, and it should pop into place. Sometimes it takes a little bit of force. Yeah, there you go. Should allow you to rotate it up and down. There is a catch on there, so they only rotate so far, but gives a pretty good amount. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're moving on to the rear body. Step 13, missile rack assembly. With hooks facing outward, turn vent rack upside down, snap missile rack post into holes and vent rack as shown. So we got our vent rack here and our missile rack here. So it says flip this thing upside down, and then we're going to take this, and you see these little posts things here? They need to be facing this way, so the same way as this piece here, and they need to be towards the top, and we're just going to put these into the holes here. So should just snap into place like this, and then that bends a little bit and snaps in like that, and then that rotates. So pretty straightforward, nothing too special about that one, but yeah, there we go. Step 14, vent rack installation. Turn vent rack right side up, fit rear vent rack through hole in rear body top, hooking vent rack lip onto edge of rear body top as shown. Swing up vent rack and press side tabs firmly into place. So we got this piece here that we just put together, and then our rear body top is this piece right here. Pretty cool looking. So we want to flip this thing up with the holes on this side, and then we're going to take this piece and rotate it so that these two holes line up with this, basically. And then just snap this down into place. So the way it looks like it's supposed to go is this piece here fits over top of this, so we kind of slide it in like this and rotate it up, and then this piece will just snap in place. There are tabs on the sides of this, and they'll lock into place on here. So slide this piece into the opening here, overlapping that, slide it so these two line up like so, and then just press in until we hear it snap, I guess. And we can see, like right here, it's almost catching, but not quite there, so that's a pretty tight fit. There we go, that one snapped into place. And then this second one, you can see right there, we need to get that to snap in as well. There we go, and that just barely snaps, but that's the snap we're looking for. Cool. Pretty straightforward there. And then this should still swing freely, so. Step 15, spot implementation. Snap spotlights into holes in vent rack. So we are going to need our two spotlights here, and they're just going to snap into these holes on the back of this thing. It doesn't really matter which way you put them because they will rotate, but according to the instructions, they want these grids here facing away from this thing, so towards the front. And you just line up the posts with the post holes and just snap them in place. And it doesn't look like there's a difference at all in these, left or right. They are both the same. and I don't see any actual markings or anything on them, part numbers or nothing like that. So it doesn't really matter which one you go first. So we'll grab this one and just snap it in place. And again, it's usually helpful to twist as we push, and then that just snaps in place. Cool. Grab the second one and do the same thing for it. Twist and press. And then these will rotate any which way you need to. Step 16, rear front body assembly. At approximately a 45-degree angle, place posts on bottom of missile rack rails in first set of slots in body front interior as shown. Next, swing down rear body half as shown and slide missile rack rails forward into body front and snap into place. That's pretty specific there. So we're going to need this piece here and our main body here. And we're going to want to position it so that the front spotlight things are facing towards the canopy. Then we're going to swing this piece here around to about a 45-degree angle. And then line it up with these things here. So if you look real closely at this piece right here, you'll notice that there are some notches in that post. We're going to take and use those notches to slide into this first opening here, and then it'll pull back like this and lock into place here with this centerpiece, as best I can tell. So let's try that and see. Again, make sure your spotlights are pointed towards the front, depending on which way you got this thing turned. Then we're going to grab this thing here and try to line. Again, I don't know how well this is going to show on camera, but we just want to drop that into place. Can you see that at all? Let me see if I can get the light here. Oh, I don't need it there. We need it about right there. So yeah, so these those notches just kind of lock into place like this, and then you press down and kind of pull back on it, and then you see that little catch right there. We're just going to kind of wiggle it around until that snaps into place, and then that'll allow it to rotate up and down. I think that's what, yeah, anyways, that's what you're supposed to do there. So there we got that, and we should be good to go. Step 17, chassis assembly 1. Fold up rear support legs on rear end chassis. So this one's actually pretty straightforward here. We just want to make sure that these little doohickeys here are just folded up. Simple as that. Step 18, chassis assembly 2. Snap grooves and rear end of chassis onto Scoutcraft support bar as shown. So we need the chassis here and then our Scoutcraft here. And essentially what we're going to do is just place this piece here over top of this bar here. And I think that's all we really have to do here. So just kind of pick it up and get it to line up and snap it in place. And I can't tell if that's lined up or not, but I guess it is. Snap, snap. So yeah, that's together. Step 19, body chassis assembly. Snap body into hole in chassis. Alright, so obviously we need this big thing here, and then we need our other piece with the brown stuff on it. And it does say we should have it, this should be folded up. In the picture, this is already up against this. So I think what we do is you just kind of wiggle this around until that little round piece that we put in there, that should feed back in if you just press on it and kind of wiggle it a little bit, and that snaps in place like that. So yeah, and then we do have on the bottom here, we've got this piece here. That is what's going to connect to this big hole here. So we just kind of line it up as best as we can. And let's try to turn it on its side here so you can kind of see what it is we got going on. We're lining up this piece here with this hole here. So like this, and then just pressing down. And I guess that's the only snap we get. So that's snapped in place, and yeah, that's it. So that was fairly simple also. Step 20, missile implementation 1. To pull out body rear, press downward between spotlights and slide out. Alright, so we got this thing here in front of us, and that's the reverse of what we showed you just a second ago. So you basically just hold somewhere like here and just press down on this piece and just pull out. So you're wanting this little lip right here to pop out, and then this should just slide out like so. And it's a little sticky, but then it just kind of rotates up like this, and you're ready to missile attack, I guess. Yeah. And this top piece is a little wiggly, so it's going to kind of rotate down by default. But we'll kind of worry with that here in a minute and see what it says about that. But yeah, that's that piece. So step 21, missile implementation 2. So this is actually a 2-step process. We're building the missiles, and then we're going to put the missiles into the missile slots. So it does say snap missile halves together while aligning rib on missile half with slot and cap. Snap missile cap over rear end of missile. Snap missile tip over missile front end. Repeat for other missiles. So we'll take that step first. We'll need 2 of our missile halves, and we'll need 1 of our caps and 1 of our tips. Alright, so as far as the actual missiles themselves go, you do have 2 separate pieces here, and they are slightly different pieces. So you'll have one piece here that is just the fins in the center. If you're looking at the split in half, got a fin at the top and fin at the bottom, but only a single fin. And then the second piece here is the piece that has the 2 fins on it. And I don't know if there's an up or down, but once you flip them over, you'll notice that there is just a simple peg and peg hole kind of assembly here. So yeah, and I think it just looks like you put the upper and the lower half together, just line up the peg with the peg holes and just kind of press it into place. Hear that snap? Then we will take the missile cap first. So this cap, and I don't know if there's an up and down. As best I can tell, what it's showing is this grooved bit here. It's the same on the back side as well, but there's basically grooves, no grooves, grooves, no grooves. So you want to grab one of the grooves and have it facing up. So you got your single fins side of it. Make sure that this is pointing up towards that single fin, and just slide it over the back side like this and just press into place. And press really hard. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, there is actually, if we can see this or not, a little groove right there, or an indentation. And then on the actual cap itself, there's also that little notch. So you want to line that notch up. That's probably the easier way to explain that. And then just press it into place. That's a little hard, but yeah, snap it in like that. And then we have the missile tip, which as best I can tell doesn't have any differentiation on it. There's a slight groove pattern on it, like right here. That's all I can see, and I don't see any anything that looks like it's a notch or anything. So squeeze together the tip and just kind of try to press that into place. And that's hard to hold on to. Yeah, once you get it started, it should be not too bad. You may have to use like the palm of your hand to get enough leverage on it to push it in place. Or we can do that and just make it jump all over the place. Let's try that again. There we go. And it did snap in place once I got it to work. So, okay, there's that one. We got one more missile to do the same way. And there was only 2 missiles in the pack, so that's fine. So let's line that up. Snap that into place. You may have to press in a little bit to get it to catch. And we find that little groove on the bottom end of that thing right there. Line that up with the groove on the bottom of your missile. Snap that into place. There we go. Not bad. And then we do the front the same way. This one's a pain usually, but let's see if it's easier this time. I think the trick is just to get it to line up straight. Let's try it upside down. That didn't work. There is probably an easier way to do this, but I don't know what it is, so. And that's not working the best in the world, but there we go. Cool. 2 missiles ready to go. Now let's move on and grab the, fit the missiles in the slots in the body. We'll go to that step next. Okay, we got our missiles together. It's time to actually put them inside of the chassis thing here. So you'll want to take and unfold the back end of this thing like so. Basically just pull it out all the way and lock it in place. Seems to be the easiest way to do it. Then you'll take one of your missiles with the single fin going up, or the mesh piece here can be pointed down. Then you're wanting to just line it up back here in this little opening. If you'll look closely at the actual missiles themselves, the bottom wings, fins, whatever you want to call them, they actually have these little notches in them, little round half semicircle kind of things. Those will actually line up with these posts on the back here. So essentially you just take this thing, kind of wiggle it around to get it past that first bit. Then, again, I don't know if y'all can see this or not. This is a weird spot to try to do this in. Something like this. So then you get it to this point, and you'll notice back here, there's a little notch right here. We want that single top fin to kind of line up in there, and then just kind of wiggle this around and kind of press it into place until it kind of snaps in and kind of sits over top of this rail. I know I'm probably not explaining that very well, but that's about the best I can show you. Can you see that at all? Let's try this again. So, second missile, we want this mesh piece facing downward, and then these little rounded bits are going to fit over top of here and here, and then this single upward fin is going to fit into this slot. So kind of wiggle it around to get it to go past the what is that, engine thing? That slot will go in there. If you can hopefully see that, that goes into that slot, and then we just press it down enough to where these little notches kind of line up onto that post there. And you may have to just kind of wiggle it a bit, and you should hear a snap. Maybe not. I heard a snap on the other one. There it goes. And it snaps into place. So this one's not snapped in yet. This one may not be snapped in because it's at a different angle than this other one. So wiggle them around until that snaps into place. There it goes, snapped into place. Then once that happens, they should be fairly straight, more or less. Then this piece here will fold up. Let's bring the camera up a little bit. Alright, so then this piece will fold down, and these missiles essentially lay flat on that track. And then you can press the track back into place to hide the missiles. Cool. Step 22, body elevation. To elevate body rear, swing up and snap into upper half of body front end as shown. So technically we already did this, but let's do it again as it says it in instructions. Pretty much it just says to grab here and pull this piece out like that, and then it rotates up and snaps into place. And so let's try that from the side here, so you can kind of see that motion. So it's, I need to adjust the camera a bit. It's too big. Okay, so pull this piece out like this, and then just rotate it up, and these little plastic pieces right here will just lock into place. Yeah. And then that sits up like so, and that actually stabilized the issue that we were looking at earlier, where we thought we were going to have a problem with this being too stiff. The missiles actually hold that in place. So yeah, works great. That's cool. Step 24, Scout Craft. To remove Scout Craft from body, detach body from track support on Scout Craft as shown, then swing down support legs on body to place into battle station mode. Place figure in seat, insert one end of seat belt into hole in seat side, then swing other end of seat belt over figure and insert into hole as shown. Okay, so we'll have a two-step process for this, but the Scout Craft just pulls out. So you can do this with this piece up or down. I'm going to go ahead and put it down. And so one thing I have noticed here, to make this piece come out easier, if you grab on the sides here and push in, this snaps off a lot easier. Same thing with locking it in place. So if you're worried about damaging those little pegs right there, just squeeze a little bit on this chassis right here, and then this works beautifully. So put that there. Let's lock this one back into place like so. And then this piece just pulls on it, I guess. I don't know that that's right. So let's rotate that. This is all we have here, so you can't just pull on it. You kind of have to pick it up and then pop these two pieces off like that and like that. And then this comes out. So it's not quite as simple as they're making it out to be. And then of course you take your legs here and swing them out, and then you've got a stable base for this thing to sit on. And it can go forward, backward, whatever. You can then have your scout craft out here, and then do this thing here, and put your missiles out there, and do all sorts of cool stuff with that. So that's pretty straightforward. We'll do the seatbelt here last, and then we'll go back and recalibrate everything. The last piece of this is just the seat belts, and it basically just said place figure in seat, insert one end of seat belt into hole in seat side, then swing other end of seat belt over figure and insert into hole as shown. So yeah, you're supposed to put a figure in here and then put the seat belt in there. You don't need the figure in there to do the seat belt to begin with. So here are our seat belts. I don't know if you've seen these, if we showed them earlier or not. We do get two of these seat belts. It's pretty straightforward. The same seat belts are basically with all of these Joe vehicles and everything. As far as orientation goes, it doesn't really matter which one you want to go in first. In theory though, if we look at the actual seatbelt itself, let's look at this real quick. So you'll notice there is a single like buckle and then a single tab on one side, and then the other tabs are kind of, let's call them adjustable. And it's got the two little things on it. The idea is that you put the single one in, and that's the one that stays in place, and then you use the adjustable one to lock your figure into place so that you can use various figures with it and don't have to worry about making that weird adjustment. So what I'm going to do is fix it so that we have kind of like in a regular vehicle. So this would be the driver's side and this is the passenger side. On my vehicle, you have your fixed point on this side, and then your adjustable one is on this side. And same thing here in reverse. You essentially have your fixed on the outside near the doors. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this seat belt, fit it into this slot over here, and you just kind of press it in place until it snaps, and you just kind of wiggle it around and it's there. And then you would take your figure then, stick it in the seat, and then you can wrap that seat belt over top and plug it in there and just kind of press on it and it locks it in. Pretty simple. And then you can take it out the same way, just grab it and move it like that. So we did that one that way. We're going to do the second seat belt the same way except reversed. We're going to have it the fixed point, which is the single buckle on the outside or the door side. So in place, wiggle it a little bit to get it to snap in there. And there you go. So you're locked in there, then you just kind of put those in there until they're fastened. And that makes sense. So, all right, we can close this thing up, lock it down, and we're kind of good to go. Well, we finally got this thing put together. It took us a little while, a lot longer than I'd expected, but that's due to me not really calculating things the right way. But anyways, it looks awesome once it's actually assembled and complete, and yeah. The only thing left to do here is actually just to do the sticker sheet, but I'll insert that here or after this or somewhere in here so y'all can see the stickers and all that good stuff. But yeah. So let's look at some of the play features here. So we obviously already saw that this thing comes apart and everything, but let's just kind of go over this thing. We've got the cool engine covers back here. We got this awesome spotlights that move. We've got the hidden missile rack here. Kind of squeeze on it here and just kind of pull out. And that gives you access to the missiles. This thing pops up. You got cool missiles here that you can go firing. Raises, lowers, however you want to go about doing that. That's a cool bit. Folds back up, slides back into place pretty well. We do have the ability to turn wherever you want to there. Elevating cannons on the front. This one moves side to side like so. Very nice. We've got the opening canopy here. Usually opens. Room for 2 figures in here. Let's see here. We've got our driver here, which is hot seat. We'll go ahead and stick him in the driver's seat here. His helmet's somewhere over here, but that's fine. Buckle him in real good. Alright, driver's in place. We got room for another figure here. And let's just see here. We've got our 25th anniversary Beachhead here. Let's see how well he fits in here. I think it's going to be fine, but let's see. Always nice to test these things out. Oh yeah, he fits in here with no problems. We'll buckle him in there. One good thing about those seat belts, they are adjustable, so you can get whichever figures you want in there. There we go. 2 figures right in there. On the sides, we do have 2 foot pegs on this side, and I think it's 2 on this side as well. Yeah, 2 on this side as well. So you can get another 4 figures up here, so that's a total of 2, 4, 6 figures, and then we spin it around here. You can unbuckle this assault craft. It just pops up like that. And then this separates and you can get another figure in here. So that's 6, 7 figures. We'll put Footloose in here from Slaughter's Marauders. He fits in there pretty well. And then the canopy kind of folds down. There's little joystick things there, but it's a little tight in there. Then that folds down and you got a cool thing. It can ride around, shoot things. It doesn't rotate up as much. Actually, I guess it doesn't rotate at all. But yeah, anyways, it runs through there, does whatever damage it needs to. And then this one folds out with these little, whatever these things are. And then you can move this thing around, front, back, however you want to do it. Shoot all the enemies, get all the bad guys. Yeah. And then the underneath here has got some nice placeholders. There's not really foot pegs or anything like that, but you can stack a couple of guys in there if you want to have them be doing, you know, artillery loads or whatever. So we'll fold this thing back up, slide it back into place, pop it back down. and we're locked and loaded and ready to go. So all in all, this is a very cool vehicle, playset, whatever you want to call it. I like it a lot. I like the color scheme. This is before they went totally crazy and went with the crazy neon stuff, but nice, kind of solid. Yeah, it's a cool little set here. Well, that's all the time we've got for today. So thanks for hanging in there and making it all the way to the end if you watched this far. Drop us some comments. Let us know. What do you think of the G.I. Joe Raider? How does it stack up to some of the other vehicles from the line? How does Hot Seat match up as far as figures go? Do you have any other fond memories of this? I never had one as a child, so it's cool to have it now. But yeah. Drop any of those comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you'd like to see anything in future episodes, let me know that in the comment section as well. I'll do my best to get it out in front of y'all. But yeah, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent with getting videos out for y'all. They're not going to all be G.I. Joe related, but I'll do my best to stack as many of those in here as I can. But, you know, it is what it is. So anyways, thanks for hanging around. Appreciate y'all. Hope you're having a great day. And until next time, Yo Joe!